You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey, Young and the Restless fans, I've got your weekly spoilers for July 7th through the 11th. Adam is going to absolutely stun some people, and Kyle is getting sketchy and skeevy. It is something to see. If you are not following us, reach down, click that subscribe button. As always, it's me, Belinda from Soap Dirt. Let's get right into what is coming next week. On Monday, July 7th, season 52, episode 190 of Y&R. Audra is hanging out with Kyle, and she just happens to be in skimpy lingerie as they are brainstorming on this perfume war concept. But Kyle looks uncomfortable by her lack of clothing, and he says since it's out that Kane is Dumas and everybody there is going to spread it around, the whole viral concept is dead. But Kyle relents and agrees that a social media battle may still be a good idea. Audra drops her robe and changes clothes in front of Kyle. Later, Lily and Damien see them looking flirty and agree to keep an eye on Audra, who's feeling pretty smug that she's making great progress with Kyle. Phyllis is eager to join Team Kane and asks him if he's thought about the other families uniting to fight him. Kane orders Phyllis to prove her loyalty before he'll discuss his plans, and then Kane's upset when Lily tells him to go away, and instead she is spending time with Damien. So Amanda and Damien have to break up a fight between Phyllis and Lily. Phyllis accuses Lily of using Damien to hurt Kane, and Lily accuses Phyllis of being a bully and ignoring Daniel to come party. Both of them are trashing each other over Billy, basically firing both of them, and it's just not a pretty scene at all. Good thing Amanda and Damien are there to break it up and pull each to separate corners. Over in the Newman rail car, Nikki really wants to leave France. She's ready to hike down the mountain with Adam, although he says it's a strenuous 3-hour hike and he thinks it's a bad idea and is dangerous for her, and the other men agree that it's just too much for Nikki to do. Nick offers to make the hike and come back with a helicopter. Victor wants to stay in France and fight. He wants to defeat Kane on his home turf. So Victor decides Adam needs to go home to protect the family interest back in Genoa City. And amazingly, Nikki and Nick are quite grateful to Adam for coming and bringing that important information about what Kane is doing back in the city behind their backs. So Nick tells them all about Kane bringing in Chance to protect him from some would-be killer, which Nikki doubts exists at all. She thinks this is another party trick. Phyllis spots Adam in the rail car and starts grilling them. Nick drags her out, but then he really screws up because, you know, Nick the Stick is not the brightest spoon in the shed, and he tells her everything that Adam said Kane has been doing back in Genoa City. And then Nick warns Phyllis not to trust Kane, says choose the right side. Nick doesn't want her working with Kane, but Phyllis doesn't even know why Nick would care. And Phyllis insists she knows what she is doing with Kane and says she does not need Nick's help at all. Damien and Lily are talking smack about Audra and Kyle getting so close and looking like it's, you know, more than business. Lily snarks right to their faces about them looking into each other, but Audra insists she and Kyle are working. Later, he asks Audra if she worries about those two thinking there's more between them. She's not, and Kyle agrees, but there is a whole flirty vibe there. Meanwhile, Kane lurks and watches as Lily takes Damien's hand, and Lily's talking about how much she likes him, and she likes how much he cares about his mom, Amy, and Kane is looking really, really ticked off. On Tuesday, July 8th, it is season 52, episode 191 of Young and the Restless. Victoria gets comfort by someone from her past. Now, this is kind of interesting. So J. Eddie Peck is out. He's done at Y&R now that Cole Howard has died of antibiotic-resistant Legionnaire's disease. So, you know, as to who it is, I mean, Kane and Victoria have worked together in the past. I remember some brash and sassy stuff. So, you know, could be Kane if he sneaks back into Genoa City to do some more stuff, or maybe someone from her past returns for just a hot minute. It could be JT Hellstrom. I mean, you know, the actors are involved in real life. They have kids, so it'd be easy to bring JT back, even though Ted Luckinbill is busy on a bunch of other projects. I just saw him on something the other day. I don't remember what it was, but I was pointing. I was like, it's JT. So Mariah and Tessa look to their future, which looks very dismal, and they consider what to do. Mariah still will not come clean to her wife, and Tessa is rapidly losing patience and says, you know what? Maybe this separation should just be a permanent split. Meanwhile, Danny Romalotti's getting ready to take a big step and tells his son Daniel he is going to propose to Christine. Now, I said this in the next week's spoilers when we were talking about the promo, but I thought they were already engaged. I thought Danny was telling Daniel and then it was going to happen off screen because nobody cares. So if they do a big on-screen wedding and Danny sings that, one song, just whatever. It's just funny. Wednesday, July 9th, season 52, episode 192. Jack gives Billy an ultimatum, assuming they are still in France at this point. And I think Jack may tell him, stop going after Chancellor, focus on Abbott. Do not blow the investment I gave you. Jack's probably going to tell him, don't get involved with Kane. Billy, do not get into this war with Victor again. Just don't. But Billy will. We all know he will. Meanwhile, Nick and Sharon team up to help Phyllis. Now, Nick's already tried to help Phyllis when she said she didn't want his help and told him to go away on Monday's episode. So obviously Nick's going to embroil Sharon in this. And I wonder if at some point, if this is going to be Phyllis tricking them to prove her loyalty to Kane, because he asked her if she would betray Nick. Like that was the sticking point. Thursday, July 10th, episode 193 of season 52, Danny proposes to Christine. Danny pops the question at Society, and it looks like the rocker might have rented out the whole place. So I'm assuming she'll say yes. Maybe we can just have an off-screen wedding, or they elope. Lily makes a bold move. So this week, she's going to tell Damien she's ready for something new. She's not going to be held back in her life. And that comes after Damien's telling Lily he understands why Kane's trying so hard to win her back. She's totally worth it. Lily gives Damien a real passionate kiss just for romantic reasons. And they have no idea that Kane is watching, but he does walk up and sees them together. And boy, is he unhappy. And Victoria faces a terrible decision. Obviously, it's something about Cole. Friday, July 11th, episode 194 of season 52, Holden is there for Claire. She's mourning. She's grieving the death of her dad, Cole. And guess what? Kyle's not around. No calls, no texts. And he's checking out Audra changing clothes, in her undies. So this is not a good look. We'll see where that goes, but this could be a big shift in things for Claire. Kyle and Audra are tempted on Friday. They've been playing with fire the whole time they've been in France. Adam and Chelsea get busy scheming now that he's back to Genoa City. Also this week, Kane is going to get into Lily's bedroom on the rail car, and she looks upset as they're sitting on her bed together. So I don't know if Kane gets in her room to plead his case, or maybe Lily has a weird dream about her ex. We will see.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.